Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Charles Sabansi. I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we got a very, very interesting show, special edition show for you guys. But before we even get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Also, if you want to follow me on Instagram, my name is Charles Tabansi. My handle is CTABANZ. You want to follow Dreamers Pro, name of our channel on Instagram is Dreamers Pro. And make sure you check out the Dreamers Pro podcast. Pin in the comment section below. Anyway, let me get into this show today. We're going to have a very, very interesting show. Now, yesterday, obviously depends on when you're watching these shows, we had a special guest on the show by the name of Michael Cooper, Lakers legend, one of the best defensive players ever. He was part of that Showtime Lakers team, made multiple all-defensive teams, won a Defensive Player of the Year award. Just a really great guy, and we had him on the show, and we appreciated his presence. And we're talking about a range of things, right? We're talking about his top 5 players of all time, favorite Lakers. We talked about load management. But then towards the end of the interview, I asked him to give his thoughts on Giannis Antetokounmpo, making the decision to go train with Hakeem Olajuwon. Now, for those of you who don't remember, there's been this conversation around Giannis over the last few weeks now, because Giannis made an announcement that he was going to go train with Hakeem Olajuwon during the offseason. And various people had various things to say about it. And one of those people at the time was Gilbert Arenas. Now, Gilbert Arenas, we've done some shows back and forth together. But Gilbert Arenas was one of the people that was against the idea of Giannis going to go train with Hakeem Olajuwon because he wasn't sure that his moves was going to translate to this particular NBA game. So he pushed back on him, right? So what we want to do is just to give you guys, just to give this show some context, we want to play a little bit of what Gilbert had to say. So this show has some context. But before we even get into that, this video is brought to you by a brand new sponsor, Factor Meals. If you're like me or anybody that works at Dreamers Pro, chances are you're a very, very busy person, especially during the lunchtime when you don't have time to go to the grocery store, pick out fresh ingredients, and come back home and cook healthy, delicious meals. Sometimes we're so busy that you just end up finding yourself making a ham sandwich or something like that, which isn't really ideal. And this is the reason why we are excited to be partnering with Factor Meals. Factor Meals is America's #1 ready-to-eat meal kit. You can choose from up to 35 gourmet meals. Every meal is packed with premium ingredients, crafted by Factor Meals' team of culinary experts and designed by dietitians to ensure that every meal is packed with premium science-backed nutritional quality. Your meals are delivered directly to your door, and all you need to do is heat them up in just under 2 minutes. Then they are ready for you to eat and enjoy. So for example, this week, I think I'm gonna go with the Italian herb chicken. What I love is that under every single meal, you can see if it's a calorie conscious option. For example, this meal I just chose is the dietitian approved calorie smart meal, which is around 550 calories or less per serving, and also a protein plus meal with 30 grams of protein or more per serving. So if you want to give it a try, click the link in the description below or head over to factormeals.com/dreamers50 and use code dreamers50 to get 50% off. And remember, when you try Factor Meals by using the link in the description below, remember that you're supporting this channel. Thank you. So what we want to do is want to play exactly what Gilbert Arenas had to say in response to Giannis training with Hakeem Olajuwon, and then we're going to come back and continue on with the show. Take a listen to what Gilbert Arenas had to say there.
I just woke up and I read 12 years after LeBron James spent $50,000 a week on Hakeem Olajuwon sessions, Giannis expresses interest in doing the same. Look, I've critiqued Giannis in this post-up move, but ain't no way in today's hell you spend $50,000 on Hakeem Olajuwon training. LeBron James did it. You ain't seen a dream shape Martin Luther I need a dream move since he left this camp. You ain't seen that resembled Hakeem Olajuwon and LeBron James, let alone anybody whoever first of who wants to learn a move from somebody who did it in 1990 anyway. You got Google, Giannis. Go to Google, tap this you will see is this. Here, for free. For free. I'll give you a tutorial. Hey, this is Hakeem Olajuwon right now. This is what you do. When you got a big man on you, you hit him with the pull. He don't even have this in his repertoire. Hit him with the heat, and then come back with the heat. He didn't have that. I just gave it to you free. Then he gonna tell you, get him on the block. When you feel him riding, you gonna spin off. This is, I'm sorry, but nobody doing this. All you old son laying down. Nobody want the Hakeem, Elijah Wood, Sky Hook. Nobody want none of that. All right, let it go. 50,000. You should be ashamed of yourself. Charging these young whippersnappers 50. When you came in the league in 1984, you wasn't getting 50,000 a game. You trying to make your money back through the youth. Giannis, no.
So you heard what Gilbert Arenas said. Fantastic. Now, at the time he said that, I actually disagreed. And a lot of people disagreed because we're like, wait a minute. This is the perfect guy. Giannis is a big guy. As his athleticism begins to wane, it'll make sense to go get, work on his footwork, right? I mean, it's only as obvious. It was only the obvious step because Giannis seems like someone that tries to get better every single year. So while Michael Cooper was on our show, I asked him to kind of weigh in on some of the pushback or some of the criticism that Giannis has been receiving over his decision to go train with Hakeem Olajuwon. So what we want to do is we want to play exactly what Michael Cooper had to say during our conversation about this, and then we're going to come back and continue on the show. Take a listen to what he had to say here. Mike, there's been this argument going around about Giannis Antetokounmpo going to go train with Hakeem Olajuwon, one of the greatest players of all time, one of the best centers in NBA history. Some people have been a little bit critical of Giannis going to go train with Hakeem because they're saying, well, his moves that he uses are outdated. They're not going to work in this current NBA. But we see players like Joel Embiid and all of that. What do you think about Giannis as a player wanting to get better and deciding to go play with to go work out with Hakeem? What are your thoughts on that?
How can people knock that? The kid wants to get better. And you know what? Why not work with one of the best low post players in our game today? And that's a player that we didn't even talk about as being in the top 5 NBA players. Olajuwon was a devastating center. And I don't know what they're talking about. His moves wouldn't work today. They don't play low post defense anyway. So again, those moves would kill somebody because right now the NBA is all about a dunk or all about the 3-point shot. So why not have that intermediate game, that inside low post game, and truly become unstoppable then? So kudos to Giannis for going to Olajuwon and trying to get better and expand his game. Because again, as you get older, the skills, you don't jump as high, you don't move as fast. So why not come down? If you look at Michael Jordan, what did he start doing when he got older? He started killing people in that low post.
In the post, yep.
Up. So come on, Giannis. Yeah, go ahead, man. Don't listen to the haters.
So you heard what he had to say. Now, here are my thoughts. First of all, I think what he said is exactly what everybody else thought, right? Like, obviously it makes sense. Number one. Number two, he brought up a point that I didn't even consider, which was he said they don't even play post defense in this NBA today. So if you have that within your arsenal, you could become a devastating NBA player. And then it made me to begin to think like, wait a minute, he has a point, right? If we think about the Denver Nuggets, Nikola Jokic just won the finals MVP. I think it's safe to say that Nikola Jokic is arguably the most unguardable player in the entire NBA. Now, Victor Wembanyama, we're going to see what he becomes. But if anybody watched those series or watched Nikola Jokic throughout those playoffs, you knew there was no matchup for him. There was absolutely none. Number one, he has impeccable footwork. Number two, he has every offensive move in the bag that a big man can have. And I'm just imagining Giannis, who's already an unstoppable force going downhill and all of that, very strong, extremely athletic, adding some footwork to his repertoire. Imagine how much more devastating a guy like Giannis, who could already go out there and average 30 points a game with 12 rebounds, 6 assists, adding Hakeem's footwork to his repertoire. Obviously, he's going to become a better player. So to me, originally when Gilbert made that show and people were talking about it, my original point was, if it means Giannis is going to spend $50,000 or $200,000, whatever it is, to get better, even if it's by 0.5%, it's money well spent. It's money well spent. It's literally a drop in the bucket for a guy like Giannis Antetokounmpo to spend $200,000. What is $200,000 to a guy earning over $25 million a year? What is $200,000 to a guy like Giannis Antetokounmpo? To me, Giannis should view it as an investment. Hell, he should call it a tax write-off. Honestly, because he's the business himself. So to me, I thought Giannis making that decision made absolute sense. And to hear Michael Cooper kind of reinforce that idea, it made it make sense even more. Now, I understand some people are going to have some different views about it, but to me, it was refreshing to hear, an NBA great come out there and say, no, in terms of a guy that's been in the league, won championship, to say, no, I totally agree with Giannis making that decision. So what I want to know from you guys is simply this. Number one, do you agree with what Michael Cooper had to say? Number one. And number two, do you think Giannis over time is going to be able to incorporate some of those moves and ultimately improve as a low post player? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section, and we'll catch you guys on the next show. Peace.